enjoy and celebrate those moments in the present. Those times where you succeed, where you overcome temptation, where you overcome evil. Those times when you succeed in your life, in different facets of your life, whether it's, in the physical state, whether you just feel great mentally and emotionally, whether you've overcome a challenge, or whether you've just done something fantastic and you've moved towards your goals and dreams. Celebrate that moment, because it's really positive, those small wins, and make sure that you don't get complacent in that. In celebrating those wins, you must use the momentum that you've gained and try to use the momentum to propel yourself forward, and try to use the momentum to propel yourself forward into the next action to keep going and moving forward. And it doesn't mean you can't rest, because rest is important, but when you rest, you must rest. And in resting, it's about being in quietude, because rest is not scrolling on your phone. Rest is not going and watching Netflix. Rest is being in the present moment, spending time with God, spending time reflecting, and just being truly present in the moment. And so it's really positive to celebrate these wins in the moment, but I think we must only celebrate these positive wins in the moment. It's great to look back on the past and remember past achievements and use that to propel you forward, but we shouldn't be too fixed on that, because ultimately that's the past. It's already happened. No matter how positive it is, that was the past. And now it's time to keep building and being better and doing better, because if we're stuck in the past, then we won't continue moving forward. And then again, the main point that I wanted to address today was, don't be too fixed on the positives of the future. And when I'm saying this, I don't mean it to be negative, but what I'm saying is, when we focus on the positives of the future, a lot of the time, it feels like we've already achieved those things. If you feel ready to go out and make positive impacts in the world and keep moving forward, but then you think kind of too far ahead, for instance, for the rest of the day, and you think, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to go and I'm going to work on my business, I'm going to go and study for school, I'm going to go and grow close to my family and grow close to God and pray and read the Bible. There's all these positive things, and you're like, yes, man, it can be quite empowering. And it is positive to have that in your frame of mind. But what happens is sometimes is that our brain, when we say these positive things, our brain thinks that we've already achieved these things. And that's when you can start to lose momentum. You can start to lose focus, and you actually don't achieve these things that you set out. So what I think is positive to do is to have momentum, to know that you feel really positive and you've achieved something great in the present moment, and now it's time to keep going. And what's really important is knowing that the rest of the day is probably going to be positive. But you must think about the next step, because the next step is a step that is going to be the next present moment, and the next moment that you can control. So when you have that positive momentum, that positive time in your life, you've grown closer to a goal, achieving that ideal state that you want to be at, that ideal person that you want to be. You've moved towards that in that present moment. Focus on the next step. Focus on taking that positivity, that momentum into the next step, and then continue to build those next steps. It's good to have a bit of a thought about the near future, but don't get too caught in the future, even in the near future, because when you stack these positive things in the future, it feels like you've already achieved them. In fact, that's what our brain actually does, because a lot of the time when we have these positive aspects in our mind of the future, it feels like we've already achieved them. When you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, you feel great. You're like, oh man, these are so positive, and you feel you've already done it. And then you don't really feel that you have to go and be disciplined and go and look to be better and do better in your life, because ultimately your brain thinks, or is kind of deceived into thinking that it's already done these positive things. So the main takeaway from today is that it's great to be in the present moment. Really feel those positive things in the present moment, because those positive times in the present moment is just truly great. Especially those times when you achieve something and you just thank God, thank the Lord, you look up to the sky, thank you, Lord. Those times when you just have momentum, you just feel so positive and optimistic. It's great to feel those. And the most important thing is to not take that into the too near future, but to focus on the next step. Because if you take it into the future, then it will actually subside, and you won't actually continue the momentum, because you won't continue to be better and do better, and you won't continue to be on that roll of improving and growing as an individual. And by the same token, it's great to think about things of the past and realize the power that you have inside of you, realize the potential that you have. But again, you shouldn't dwell on it too much, because when you get stuck in the past, it can cause a sense of stagnation, but you kind of stay where you are now. So just focus on the present moment, look to be positive. And even when you are feeling negative, keep going, keep pushing forward, keep taking that next action, that next step, because when you take that next step, that next action, it will allow you to have positive momentum and keep going. And ultimately, through that momentum, you will begin to feel positive and optimistic in the present moment, and you just begin to enjoy life. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, enjoying life. But the thing is, the way to truly enjoy life is to be purposeful. It's what I realize now, to be purposeful, to continually just move towards your goals and your dreams, to continually look to be better and do better and grow as an individual, because that is long-term gratification. All these instant gratification, the scrolling, the watching Netflix, the going and eating junk food, the going and giving into lust and things like that, they all provide a sense of temporary pleasure for literally 2 seconds. You have that sort of moment, and then everything comes crashing down. And then you realize you've wasted so much time, and you feel negative for so much more, so much longer. You feel guilty, you feel negative, and your life just kind of fades into the next day, into the next day. And so these things never promise anything, but the way to truly enjoy life is to be purposeful. And in that, as I said before, it's good to sometimes take rest, to be in the present moment, because that's when you can actually hear God's voice. It's good to take rest, but in those rests, you need to make sure they're purposeful, because when you scroll, it's not rest. In fact, your brain's actually going even faster. In a sense, you become more fast-paced, and you actually become even less relaxed than you were before. And so, in being purposeful, life just becomes so much better and so much more fulfilling. And the thing is, the days are going to keep going by. They're going to go by anyway. So if you give in to negativity, if you give in to these bad habits, these instant gratification activities, the day is going to go by, and that instant gratification will fade away, and you will not improve at all. In fact, you'll be going backwards. The day is going to keep rolling on and rolling on and rolling on. But if every day you continually look to be better, look to step in that positive direction, you look to grow towards that ideal self that you have, that ideal mindset that you want to have, you look to move towards the identity that you want to adhere to, that is when real growth occurs, and that is when true purpose is found, and also true fulfillment is found in your life. And ultimately, through all of this, you will just be able to improve as an individual, improve through Christ as well. You begin to just enjoy life and thank God. And when you do thank God, and when you are grateful, that allows you to be even more positive in that present moment. And so through all of this, you just look to improve as an individual, grow closer to God, and you just really enjoy life. You find a sense of purpose and fulfillment and joy. And even in those moments where you are challenged, where you maybe feel a bit negative, when Satan may be attacking you, just keep moving forward so that you can feel this positive momentum and find positivity and fulfillment in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this message. I feel like there's some recurring ideas in here that really resonate with me, and I feel that will allow you to be better and do better as well. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please share this message, or like and subscribe, or do anything that will allow this message to be pushed out to more people and help more people become better individuals, as I'm looking to do for myself. That will allow all of us to continue to grow and be better and do better, because the day's going to keep going by. Every day is going to keep going by. So ultimately, we have to look up and say, did I use the day? Did I look to be better? Was I purposeful? And did I live a fulfilling life today? And when you move on to this purposeful, fulfilling journey, this path, your life will be so much better, and you will be so much more positive. Because even in those times when negativity may strike, in fact, I've had a couple of days like that, right? I don't know why, I feel like just evil was sort of overcoming me in a bit of negativity, and I just wasn't really feeling so great. I'd go and I'd do some physical activity, a football session or a gym session, and I'd go and look to be purposeful. And through that action, through taking that next step, I was able to be positive. There was a huge shift in my mindset, in the mentality that I had, and I felt so positive, and I was able to just thank God and grow near to God, and life was just positive again, really great, and it felt purposeful and fulfilling. And ultimately that's what it's all about, looking to find that purpose, or to move towards goals, or to grow near to God, and just to enjoy this life that we have, but in a positive way, where we leave a legacy of positivity. We think about the legacy that we want to leave behind, and we focus on making the world a better place in every way that we possibly can, looking to improve each day, improve through Christ. So thanks for watching. This has been a bit of a long one. If you enjoyed, I just appreciate you again if you look to share this message, and thank you for watching, and have a truly blessed day.